Graphite Lab is an independent video game development studio that has produced titles and mobile apps for major publishers. Recently, they announced plans to bring one of their games to Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. Here with details is owner of Graphite Lab, Matt Raithel. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
It's pretty cool to have a video game developer, owner, business owner here in studio to talk about this new game. It's called Hive Jump. Is that correct?
Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, it's exciting to be doing this right here in St. Louis, for sure.
So let's kind of set it up, and we're going to look at some video of the game. Up to this point, you've had clients like Hasbro, you've done stuff for My Little Pony, Disney, all these different clients. Now, what's unique about this? This is your own.
Yeah, so we've kind of learned, all the ins and outs of game development and building brands from some of these companies. We've been working with them for quite some time. But what makes Hive Jump unique is that this is our own idea. So it's not Transformers from somebody else that we have to understand and kind of adapt. This is us daydreaming and brainstorming and bringing something completely new to market that was grown right here in St. Louis.
All right, well, we're taking a look at some of it, and we'll kind of pull some up. Tell us about the game itself. What is it with Hive Jump? You've got, I saw the one character. So there we go.
Hive Jump is kind of a run and gun action game, kind of at its heart. And you can play 1 to 4 players. So this is something where you can get your buddies over and you can play together cooperatively. And you control these space marines called jumpers. And these space marines have a mission. They have to get this transponder backpack down to the bottom of an alien hive, dodging bad guys and traps and explosives so that they can get it down to the bottom of the hive and kind of nuke the evil alien race from within. So if you see the footage, you're going to think of old Nintendo games like maybe Metroid or Contra, and we pumped a lot of that inspiration into Hive Jump. So
I was going to say with the bees, they look very familiar. And just, so I mean, when you're in this process and you're sort of like you described, almost like the storytelling aspect of it, is that a brainstorm? Was this an idea that you had, or is this your whole team?
It's the whole team for sure. In fact, there's, we've got about 10 members on our team here in St. Louis, and it very much was a conversation of, hey, we've got a few mechanics, let's play around with these, and then, oh, wouldn't it be cool if? And we said, wouldn't it be cool if, like 1,000 times, and all strung together, and in doing that evolved the identity of Hive Jump. And we attached programmers and artists and designers and musicians and scriptwriters and character designers and all these different talents to really bring the game to life.
Yeah, and we've got a picture I think we're going to take a look at of your team. So I mean, when it comes to Hive Jump, how many people is that total when you bring everyone who's played a part in it?
Goodness, when we roll our credits list on the game, there's well over 2,000, but I'll explain why that's the case.
So this is just your core team that we're looking at.
This is just our core team that we're looking at here, but we use Kickstarter to help start the game. And through Kickstarter, we had about 2,000 backers that pledged money and some kind of support for the game before we had ever released it. So we thought it special to recognize them in our credits. So when you see our core team, maybe there's 10 at Graphite Lab here in St. Louis, and there's a few musicians and down in Texas and a few others elsewhere. But we also have all of those backers who have kind of been with us the last couple of years to help see this game through to the finish line.
Right. So when we were talking before, when we mentioned some of your past clients or projects, Transformers, My Little Pony, Hasbro is the publisher of that. This is basically, since you started your company in 2009, you've had all these different clients and you've just been putting stuff out there for them. But in this case, this was your idea all along, your team, to really put this and launch this on your own. On the financial side, you mentioned, I mean, that takes a lot of investment, it sounds like.
Yeah. And that's really where a majority of the risk comes from any creative endeavor. If you're a musician, if you're opening a restaurant, you kind of have to put yourself out there, not just emotionally, but also financially a little bit. And yeah, you can get some support from great tools like a Kickstarter, but eventually you have to put, at least some of your own soul into each product in order to kind of see it through. Certainly took a little courage and a little bit of audacity to make this happen. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get into some more details. I want to learn a bit more about Graphite Lab, some other things that you have coming up. But right now, we've got the information there for you on the screen. Check it out. You can go. It's Hive Jump, hivejump.com. Hive Jump is the new game that's been launched. You can go directly to hivejump.com. But if you also want to learn more about what Graphite Lab does, you can head to their website, graphitelab.com, or call the number on your screen, 314-735-4134. But don't go anywhere. We're going to have more right after this break. There's more STL Live.